Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for the OPTC video, and in today's video, we're diving into PKA level 60 to 79 with the auto farming team to help you guys maximize your turtle gains, as well as build up your ranks for the PKA season for the 11th anniversary against Jewelry BONNEY. So obviously they want you to be utilizing the new Satin and the batch, which looks a little bit like this. However, today we're basically diving in and utilizing some of the newer characters that have released over the last couple of months, as well as being characters that can kind of help us out with this particular event. So if you take a look at the boosted list, if we quickly go here to select all and we go to boost effects, the Zoro and the York are both what's it called? They're both 1x boost, so if you guys have them, they're great. They're both driven characters. And then the rest of the team, you can kind of fill out with like other characters that are either buffed by driven or buffed by strikers. Because the idea here is that we are going to want to bring a friend captain. What's his name? Friend Captain Satin. Like, he's going to be like the big one that we find a lot of. So ideally, we sort of want to do that. Now, we could easily just throw on like Sobermask, who's a very, very good unit who has some great supports and stuff like that to help us out. He's obviously going to just do some fun things in terms of bypassing certain effects. So you could easily run him, but again, like, it doesn't really matter what other characters you use. If you have any of the new characters, obviously just throw them on. So if you have like Doll, Satin, all that, you just throw them on the team as well. Because the idea of the mini bosses, you just want to try and get through it as quickly as possible. So what we're going to do here is we're going to use Sobermask because he's got some good supports. And give me 1 second. And beautiful stuff. So you can chuck on some other supports and stuff like that to get it done. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to use this particular team for the mini bosses. And then we might tweak a few things when we get to the final boss and have a look at what 60 to 79 partakes. Now remember, Satin, he buffs strikers and driven characters. So if you just sort of fill out the team with driven and striker units, like, that's going to work out pretty hunky-dory. That way you can just do a little bit more damage as well. If you can find BONNEY as a friend captain, you're also going to get 3x drops, but Satin's the big one just because he's the Super Sugar character. He's readily available. He buffs driven units, which obviously the 6+ Zoro is. We have striker buff in Vivi, and then obviously York is a 1x booster as well, and she's also going to give you a few more drops. What you can also do if you really want to is you can rock Nami Karina as your captain if you want to get an extra drop with this particular team. Nami Karina are going to buff everyone. Obviously, your captain, friend captain Satin's not going to do that, but it's just going to give you an extra drop. So I'd probably recommend doing that. Even though she's not a booster, she's always giving you an extra copy. So we actually might change that for the next fight. I actually totally forgot about that strat when I was putting together the team. There's been a lot going on. Obviously, we've got like Satin Showcase up. Assault Rumble starts today, which I believe is bugged at the moment. There seems to be a bit of an issue. So I wouldn't recommend spending gems over on that game mode because they seem to have a bit of an issue with the typing. So like if a character targets a typing for an extra effect, whether it's damage, special blinds, action blind, all that fun stuff, it seems to just not work. So bit of an issue in that regard. So as you can see here, we sort of tore our way through the Monet fight. Only downside to running Vivi Rebecca on the team is that we don't have we can't actually run threshold removal, but at the same time, like, if you keep your mini bosses to level 1, which I highly recommend everyone do when you are farming up these turtles, you should just be able to bypass pretty much anything that the final stage throws at you because it's level 1. So just be mindful of that. So that was the Monet fight. Pretty simple. As you can see, they're getting lots of extra drops. Like I said, it's very easy to find a Satin friend captain because it's anniversary and everyone's summoning for Satin and well, not so much BONNEY, but definitely like the new Super Sugo characters. So move on to the York fight now. We're going to quickly change up team a sec, and there we go. Beautiful stuff. So this is what we want to be rocking with the new setup. Like I said, Nami Karina giving an extra drop is really, really nice. Honestly, it's level 1, so you probably could run Buggy if I'm being completely fair. Like, it's not ideal because Buggy's built up around cost, and so is Satin wanting more cost and Buggy wanting less cost. So there's also that. Plus, like, if you really want to do more damage with specials and stuff, you can use the Satin abilities to just sort of add supports and just build up your cost level that way. So just be mindful of that if you guys are using specials. But like I said, with these particular fights, they don't seem overly challenging. I don't really think there's anything that gets thrown our way that we really struggle with. So we can kind of just bypass everything that we need to just by making our way through the content. And like I said, with this, we're now getting 3 extra drops, 75% chance at another 2, so minimum 3, maxing out at 5 with our units, and then Saturn's going to give us 3 drops as well, which is just great, because like the extra 3 drops from Saturn just turns our total gain into 6 extra drops, which then allows you guys to just build up your totals so fast and get to your rewards as quickly as possible. Obviously, having the boosted characters, which a lot of people will have this season, it's going to help out with your Hime total drops and stuff like that, but just having that Saturn friend captain just allows you to get to the totals just so much quicker. Let me guys know in the comment section if you guys want to see some stuff with the 11th anniversary characters as a oh, this might be a problem, the perfect barrier, because it's burn, the game doesn't want to register. Oh, that's annoying. Because there's a perfect, that's super annoying, because there's a barrier and then you get burned, the game doesn't want to hit perfects because you're burned. But yeah, it doesn't matter. You just take 2 turns there, and it's not an issue. But like I said, let me know in the comment section below if you guys want to see some 11th anniversary character stuff. Obviously, with the release of all these new characters, it's going to be a little bit hard to put together like an abundance of teams that can kind of target everything. But if there is enough demand on the videos, as always, I will put it out. I always like to do the level 80 to 100 with the Straw Hat team. That's always a really, really fun video. And obviously, it just helps out a lot of new. I feel like it helps out a lot of new players, because getting Gear 5, 6 stars is pretty easy. And then sort of having the investments in the free-to-play Straw Hats is what every new player should be doing when they sort of understand the dynamics of the game. You definitely want to invest in those characters. They are very, very good, and they can carry you through lots of content. Unless you, like I said, you have a very good understanding of the game and you're sort of re-rolling and starting again, and you know what characters to invest in, those free-to-play Straw Hats are very, very good. So they're the 2 mini-bosses. As you can see, super easy with the auto strat. Let's have a look here. We're going to go up the top. If you guys can do your PvP fights, do your PvP fights. I'm not going to do them on video just because, look, they take up a lot of time, and like, I do enough PKA runs to sort of get them done regardless. So we're just going to make our way up the top here. Unfortunately, we've got no Saki, which is a bit of a shame, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Let's make our way down here. Let's go the Sanji statue, and then let's take on BONNEY at level 63. So, team's going to look a little bit like this. Let's take a look if we need anything else. In the guide here, if we click on the top right-hand corner, it's going to tell us what character is great for this. Battle 5, we need damage reduction and threshold removal. Battle 4, there's some defense up. In Battle 3, there is some special reverses, also some special bind, which does seem to be a bit of a problem, but I think we'll be a-okay. Yeah, I think we'll be alright. Yeah, I think we'll be fine. Let's send it. Let's grab a friend captain Saturn, and we'll dive in. Beautiful stuff. Here we go. Now, there are some other supports that we could definitely use. We could definitely use the Kyoshiro support on our Zoro down the bottom there. That's probably going to be... That would actually be a very handy support to bypass some... what's it called? Some defense up. But because this is level 60, it's still fairly simple. There aren't any like super challenges that get thrown our way in the sense that we can't sort of bypass them just with some good investment. But obviously you do want to try and bypass everything as much as possible. So we're going to get special reverse there. Again, not the end of the world. We can just swap with our Vivi and Rebecca. It's going to give us a chain lock, and then we can just take out this stage nice and simply. If you guys don't have Vivi Rebecca 6+, just use a different unit there. Like it's not the end of the world. We're going to use York here for some special bind removal. I don't know if York actually does any orb rotation too. She does on the bottom. Damn, what? I thought you did special bind removal. What the hell? Do I need a certain amount of driven characters on the team? Oh, 5 more egghead characters on the team. Damn, that's a shame. Okay. Well, we're not getting that, but that's fine. We probably need to bypass a turn anyway because of the defense up. Now that we can't remove it. Oh, we can just sort of tap, I guess, and everything's fine. Look, if you guys take a few extra turns there, I don't see that being the end of the world. We're going to have to bypass a turn on this final stage, though, so that's going to be a bit of a problem, but at the same time, I think we'll be... Oh, no, we have to take 2 turns. Yeah, not having the 5 egghead characters is a bit of a shame. Maybe running Zoro as the captain is just going to be a little bit easier, but look, I guess if you just kind of do this, like, I don't really see this being a problem. Perfect. Simple. Awesome. York takes care of the damage reduction and threshold, so, like, realistically, like, if you just find a way around that special bind, and if you run Zoro as a captain, that's just going to be really easy to do. You shouldn't have any issues whatsoever. Just remove the defense up with another character. Nami, Karina are giving you extra drops, which is awesome, because if you want to get those totals nice and fast, You can sort of just like float on level 60. But for now, that's the auto strat team getting it done as always. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Later!